Hello everyone, welcome to Voice in Void. What if I tell you, no matter how much we try, no matter how much we change ourselves, we will never be beautiful enough for this world? Because beauty isn't a fixed idea, it keeps changing. One day it's fair skin, the next day it's glass skin, kabhi slim figure to kabhi curves. We keep chasing an image that's never stable. We follow routines, filters, trends, and still end up feeling insecure. The pressure is real because this system doesn't want us to feel enough. It wants us to keep fixing, changing, buying. But what are we really fixing? Let's talk about the toxic beauty standards that quietly shape how we see ourselves and each other. Beauty standards didn't start with Instagram. They have existed for centuries and they have always demanded something extreme. In ancient China, women bound their feet to make them smaller. It was painful, permanent, and even disabling, but it was considered beautiful. In the Victorian era, beauty meant a tiny waist, pale skin, and a delicate face. Women wore corsets so tight they could barely breathe. To stay pale, they used mercury, lead, even arsenic. Elegance came at the cost of health and sometimes life. Then came the 1920s. The flapper girl broke the traditions with short hair, flat chest, and a boyish frame. It was rebellious, but it also became the new standard. By the 1950s, beauty standards shifted again. Marilyn Monroe set the tone: soft curves, red lips, seductive glamour. And now, we live in the Kardashian era, where beauty is sculpted, curated, edited. The perfect body isn't born, it's bought. Lip fillers, Botox, glass skin routines. Natural beauty is out and manufactured beauty is in. But in this race, for the perfect face, something got lost. There was a time when beauty looked different in every culture. In Africa, scarification was admired. In Japan, black teeth and pale skin meant elegance. In India, dusky skin was celebrated. Beauty had diversity, but today everyone is chasing the same look. Sharp jawline, full lips, glass skin, hourglass body, straight hair. Look at South Korea. Plastic surgery is so normalized, it's given as a graduation gift. Double eyelids, pale skin, small face, skinny body. That is the standard.
고했습니다.
에 대해서 성형을 했어요.
South Korea has the highest rate of cosmetic procedures globally, 8.9 surgeries per 1,000 people. In a country of 51 million, that is over 450,000 cosmetic procedures every year. It's a crisis of acceptance. It's like the world has copy-pasted one face and called it beautiful. And behind every trending beauty idol is a business model. Our insecurities aren't natural. They are manufactured, marketed, and monetized. Want fair skin? Buy this cream. Want fuller lips? Use this filler. Want perfect skin? Try this expensive 10-step routine. हर फ्लॉ एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है किसी प्रोडक्ट को बेचने की. The beauty industry first creates the problem, then sells us the solution. And it's not just makeup, it's filters, apps, surgery clinics, supplements, influencers, fashion brands. They all feed one idea: you are not enough unless you keep improving. The global beauty and personal care market is worth $646 billion and it is expected to hit $1.15 trillion by 2034. However, the beauty industry doesn't sell one single standard, it creates different ones for different places. So no one ever feels satisfied. In India, South Korea, and China, fair skin is glorified. You will see it in fairness creams, ads, marriage proposals, and in films. But in the West, where people already have fair skin, tan skin is the beauty ideal. Spray tan, sunbathing, bronzers, all to look darker. Brown skin wants to be lighter. Fair skin wants to be tanned. Straight hair wants curls. Curly hair wants to be straight. We are all trying to change what we naturally have. And that's how the beauty industry wins, by selling us a dream that keeps shifting. And in this chase for beauty, we forgot that some people were never meant to be included. The standard isn't just narrow, it's exclusive. If you are not fair, slim, tall, able-bodied and young, you are already told you don't qualify. Look at Bollywood. It praises desi beauty but rarely casts desi-looking women in lead roles. Fair actresses are painted brown to play dark-skinned characters. The skin lightening market is projected to hit globally $16 billion by 2030. But exclusion isn't just about skin. If you are plus-sized, you are fat-shamed. If you are older, you are told to fix your age. If you are specially abled, you are erased from the frame. If you are queer or gender non-conforming, you are invisible or mocked. Beauty isn't just about attraction. It's about access, power, and privilege. Those who fit the standard are seen, the rest are ignored. But real beauty, it was never meant to look one way. It was meant to exist in all of us. For too long, beauty has been defined by industries, celebrities, and unrealistic trends. But what if we start defining it for ourselves, not based on filters and fillers, but based on truth? And the truth is, real beauty isn't flawless, because it's the flaws that make it real. And finally, people are starting to see it. More women and girls are embracing natural skin, unfiltered faces, stretch marks, and textured bodies. There is a quiet shift from perfection towards something more real. Campaigns like Dark Skin is Beautiful in India and public backlash against fairness creams forced brands like Fair and Lovely to rebrand to Glow and Lovely. That wasn't a creative decision. It was pressure from people who were done being told their skin tone wasn't good enough. Redefining beauty doesn't mean everyone has to look a certain way. It means we all get to exist without shame. In a world that profits from our self-doubt, self-love is a revolution. Thank you for watching till the end. If anything in this video resonated with you, or if you have your own story or reflections, drop them in the comments below. This space is for you too, where your voice matters even in the void.